Hello and welcome to some Shropshire woodland. This is a means to an end though. I'm on my way to a lake. I've been here before, and the last time that I fished here I noticed a particular wild flower that was growing. So I thought to myself, when I go back I'll film it and do a little chat about that particular plant. I do love British nature. I've been fortunate to have seen the big five in Africa in their native environment, but I love the wildlife on our doorstep. This is the flower in question. It's very striking. There are 6 of them growing alongside the track leading down to the lake itself. It's called the Great Mullen, and the leaves are very soft and velvety. Many years ago, as with many of our natural plants, it served a purpose, and it lights very quickly, very easily. And so the purpose of the leaf of the Great Mullen was to provide wicks for lamps. Nowadays we just switch the electricity on and the lights come on instantly. But years ago, this particular plant served a very useful purpose for our ancestors. The Great Mullen. Sounds like a character from a Disney film, doesn't it? The rod was lying there on the unhooking mat, on the platform, as still as can be, and then suddenly comes alive. I've got a tench on. It's racing across the lake. I think I'm in control now though. I'm bringing it in. Lovely bend in the rod, you can't quite see there from the video. Great fish, aren't they, tench? No surprise that to a number of anglers, they are their favourite species. I'll be back shortly, and hopefully I'll have this fish to show you. It's not as big as I expected. However, as I often say, the first fish is always special because it means you're off the mark. Plus, it's not exactly small, is it? That fish has now been returned. Before I cast out again, I'll show you the business end. I've got a small lead, a 1/4 of an ounce of swivel there, and a bead. And I'm actually fishing with a hair rig setup. It's a corn-shaped boilie from SBS Baits. I'm fishing over brown crumb and natural sweet corn. And as I've said on a number of occasions recently where I've been doing this type of fishing, in fact on this exact lake, these are great because they are corn shaped, but they're boilies, so they withstand the efforts of the small fish, which normally if you put corn out there they can reduce the actual corn to a shell within seconds sometimes. So that's really good. You can see the rod going where the small fish pick it up, but they're not able to do anything to it. It stays there until a tinker comes along. Anyway, I've got my rod, reel and line, etc., and as always I'll go through those in more detail, written detail, in the blog that accompanies this video. So as I often say, check that one out as well. Let's cast out again, see if I can get a second tench on the bank. The fish have obviously moved into the area that I baited on arrival, because no sooner had the bait settled on the bed of the lake, the rod was off again. Anyway, this one is kiting around, and I do have reeds to both sides of me, so I'm going to try and steer it out, which I've managed to do. That's where you have to fish with the right gear, from the rod through to the line, And it's not just about test curve either when you think about rods. And that's not just in terms of fishing for tench, but carp, barbel, etc. It's about the action of the rod. This one's coming in, and I'll show you in a moment or two. The water's very, very clear, and I can see twisting and turning with a yellow piece of corn on the outside of its mouth. Look at the tail on those. You could paint your ceiling at home, couldn't you? I'm doing quite well, and I decided to switch hook bait to Tutti Frutti pop-up. So a corn-shaped popper boilie, but it's orange. Tutti Frutti, and I'll tell you what, it's been in the water about 2 minutes, and I've got another tench on. There it is. I put a split shot on, a swan shot, and then flick the bait out. I'm fishing about 20 yards, and that's the fish. I'm on furlough at the moment, and I won't deny it, I am enjoying it very much indeed. But football, whether as a fan or work, is never that far away from your mind. And I was just thinking about someone I know. He's the video analyst at Brentford in the English Championship. So I just sent him an email, see how he's doing. He got back straight away, doing very well indeed. And if you are following the English second tier at the moment, it's very, very tight at the top. And West Bromwich Albion drop points today. Brentford, they're flying, they're closing in. Just 3 games to go, 3 points behind. Anything can happen, and Leeds United are yet to play. They're playing Swansea City tomorrow, so it's all very, very tight at the top. But the last time I saw the video analyst, his name's Joe, I did an interview with him at Carmarthen Town. So he left Welsh football to go and work in the game in England. You never know, do you, where life takes you. There he is, working at places like Carmarthen and Newtown. No disrespect at all intended to those reference teams, but in a few months' time, well, maybe less than, he could be at the likes of Arsenal, Manchester City, Manchester United. You never know where life takes you. I'm enjoying this session though, and I tell you what, I'm enjoying my life.